Hey guys, me and team here. Welcome to a matchup on Blistering Sands. I will be Blue Zerg and my opponent will be Red Protoss. Koi game, Choi game, take your pick. I don't know. Yeah, if you know how to pronounce that, let me know in the comments. But somehow I don't think that I could be blamed in this case. Good enough. Anyway, still working on video settings. This game is actually older than my previous three from 29 through 31. This should be 32 in my Diamond League series. But I'm casting it later as I'm still testing out some of my video stuff, and since I can't upload right now, reasons obvious in video 31, I figured I'd go back and check out another game, another Zerg vs Protoss that plays a little bit more, well, a little bit differently than the previous ones I've been uploading. I've been doing a lot of Zerg vs Protoss lately in terms of my videos. So this is way away from that. Anyway, I'm doing my 14 pull, 13 gas nonsense, and as you can see, still doing this kind of stuff. So they have it's such a low APM way to annoy people with the scouting. Yeah, they get some hits on the drone now and then, but seriously, they're not going to kill it until they get a stalker or very well microed zealots. So nothing special there. Apparently I lost 150 resources already. That's interesting. Anyway, I'm dropping, I think that's because I canceled a Roach Warren and decided just to drop a Spine Crawler and go Lair Tech rather than doing the standard Roaches to defend against Zealots. I do see the second gateway. I see a Chrono Boost on a gateway. And all kinds of scouting information from this low APM stuff. So I do see the Zealots move out as of this moment, thanks to a Xel'Naga Watchtower. And my response to this, since I'm going Lair Tech, I'm already building a Spire. Yeah, build a bunch of Spine Crawlers. That's great. Although in terms of their cost, I mean, that's only a little bit more expensive than the Zealots. So, you know, gate pressure, be it 2-gate Zealots or 4-gate, really struggles against these Spines. And I've shown it in my earlier videos as well. It's just impressive. Anyway, yeah, he's gonna rough up my queen here. Go for a drone kill, I guess. Get some drone kills. He even kills my Spire, but note that I did get the 4 Mutalisks on the queue before he took out my Spire, and my Broodlings did some damage to his Zealots. So now he's going for my spawning pool, and I can't lose the spawning pool. That would really screw me up, so I decided to try and kite some Zealots with the Queens, but he just keeps hitting that spawning pool. And I do get the Mutas out in time, so spawning pool is safe for now, although very, very damaged. Ouch. But with that fast pressure, it's unlikely he's going to have a whole lot to hold off against the Mutalisk pressure. And notice he did drop a Stargate, and he's just now starting on a Phoenix. So I'm actually getting a little bit of time to harass. He has killed some probes of mine, or yeah, probes, no, drones. And it's time to return the favor. So I'm going to run in here, do some damage. Really not a lot other than making him run off the line. I got 1 probe, 2 probes, really as much as he managed to kill in terms of workers, although I'm not going to be able to kill any buildings. 3 probes. But then comes the Phoenix, and Phoenix pretty much hard counter own mutas. I really hate to see them as Zerg. It's really one of the few things that takes away the map control that Mutalisks just love to abuse on the opposition. I mean, you saw it in my earlier Protoss videos where I just put the pressure on with mutas, and it really prevented him from moving out of his base. And then when he did move out of his base, he couldn't reinforce because of the mutas. I just kept picking off units in his base while he marched towards me. And eventually, my Zerglings overcame his attack. But now these Phoenixes are going to pretty much keep me bottled up. They outrange mutas by a bit. They do more damage. And they're faster, so they can run you down too. And yeah, they're going to start killing Overlords, which is really obnoxious. I'm going to start trying to hide Overlords pretty much as soon as I can do so. And I'll even train up another Queen because, well, I need something to help out. Now these mutas can kind of, with the help of my Queen, keep at least these Overlords that are clumping in my base safe. So that's nice. Notice I am getting an Evo Chamber upgrade now, level 1 Zergling melee attack. And if you've been paying attention, like in GSL, Fruit Seller's been doing that. Idra has started doing that. I know in the MLG games, he's actually started working on upgrades pretty hardcore. So you have a lot of the pro players also going Evo Chambers now, so maybe I'll get less comments telling me how it's kind of newbie to go them. We'll see. We'll see. I still have plenty of the newbie aspects in my play. Just the upgrades is not one of them. Opponent here's getting a forge finally. He has finally rebuilt the probes, and this is something I want to touch on because I dropped the ball here. Notice I have a lot of gas. And my reason for that is he killed those drones earlier and put me under 22, and I've been working on like 19 or 20 drones this whole time. And that's just painful. If I had just gotten 22 to 24 drones in one base, that's really all you need to keep up with your gas income. But just that small difference, it's the small difference between like around 700 versus around 600 from those two drones is, what's really causing me to have a huge bonus in terms of gas relative to my minerals. So here I'm trying to put some pressure on. Make him feel like he has to defend multiple parts of his base with the Zerglings. Try to get some of my map control back using my ground forces, since my air forces will not do it. My opponent blows some energy and trapping lings, and I'm just going to get the rocks and run. I have noted that he does not have any upgrades yet. He does have a forge. He's not spending his copious money on getting any upgrades, however. He also neglected putting this up, which gave me some time to take pot shots on the rocks without him shooting at my Zerglings. Now he's getting cannons, so he's respecting meter harass despite the fact that he's 4 Phoenixes. And actually, I noticed that he wasn't going very heavy on the Phoenix, so I'm investing in some Corruptors myself, as you can see right here, in addition to some more Mutalisks and Zerglings. I just finished the Zergling Carapace, so I'm going pretty hard on ground upgrades. I pretty much always do that. I do enjoy upgrades quite a bit, and it's just fun to surprise people with what would look like even forces, or they would expect a different outcome than they actually get because of the upgrades. Spawning pool healing back gradually, always nice. I guess the 1.1.2 changes saved me in this case. Anyway, I got some Corruptors, not so great versus Phoenix, but not terrible either. The Phoenix does not do bonus versus armored, they do bonus versus light. So their damage is actually pretty pathetic against the Corruptors. They have 5 damage and the Corruptors have some armor on them. Phoenix do not. So it's nice, get the damage reduction from that. Really more DPS than the Phoenixes have. So not bad to mix some of those in if they're not going too heavy on the Phoenix. Just use the Corruptor to take him out. But the other reason I like Corruptors when they start going Phoenix, or even when they just start going Colossus, is that the Corruptors are very good against the Colossi. And we'll put them down before they do too much damage to the Zerglings. He catches my Expo here. But for whatever reason, despite the fact that I've been under drones, I mean, look at that, I'm still at 20 drones. Somehow I have more supply than my opponent. That's a mystery to me. I guess my units were cheaper, or I just invested more into them, or I invested less into buildings. I mean, he has a whole mess of random buildings. So, I guess that's it. I'm definitely up on the macro here, though, despite the fact that I have fewer workers. I just have more supply. I managed to spend a little bit of my gas. Zerg is gas intensive, so it's okay if you get a little bit ahead on gas. You can usually find a way to use it pretty quickly, either through upgrades or through spamming the very gas-intensive units. I poke in here once again. He still doesn't have any upgrades on his ground forces. He is getting level 1 weapons, but I'm just as close to level 2 ground weapons, well, melee weapons, which is all the ground I have. So I'm going to have a pretty severe upgrade advantage on him very shortly. Well, I have up until now, but I'm going to retain it. And working the creep spread a little bit. Not so good about that in general, but take what you can get. When you have mutas and lings as your main units, it's not as important as it would otherwise be. just floating around here. I'm kind of waiting for my +1 Spire thing. That makes mutas quite a bit better. +2 to their base attack and +1 to each of their bouncing attacks. The other muta attacks aren't nearly as cost effective as the first air level upgrade. Of course, the Corruptors could benefit from more of them. Yeah, so whatever. Upgrades are always nice. Much more. That's a much better investment than, say, training an additional muta. The DPS I got from that, I mean, yeah. Oh, it's just +1, but you get also +1 on the other attacks. Anyway, here we go. Get a kind of shoddy surround, but I just have more supply and better upgrades. Really out macroed him here. Yeah, he's got the thermal lances, starts killing some Zerglings, but really no hope with the Corruptors there to shoot down the Colossus. And it's just a slaughter fest from here. But yeah, with this many mutas, I've pretty much already matched the additional muta with just that upgrade. So that's a good investment. My opponent has nothing here that counters that many units of that composition, so that'll be a good game. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys liked the slight increase in video quality. I'm still playing with my settings, but I think I can get them down to a decent science. So I will see you guys in the next part. The main team signing off.